All right. It is Market Mondays. The Mastermind Expo is going so well. We appreciate you so much for tuning in. I've always been so interested in real estate investing, being using that as a wealth strategy. And so I went to ask my friend Marcia in the mastermind if she could just share her wealth building strategies, share about the market in 2025, what we can expect, and just really give us that full overview. So, Marcia, would you join us today on stage? How are you doing, Marcia? Ooh, can I, you're muted. Let me unmute you real quick.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, Marcia, I'm so grateful that you're here. What we'd love for you to do is just give us a rundown of just your background, who you are, the things that you do, and really give us this layout of the market. So without further ado, Miss Marcia Grant, CEO of Greenwood and Archer Lending, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having me. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, present. Okay, so I am Marcia Grant. I am the CEO of Greenwood and Archer Lending, and we are going to talk about real estate investing today. So this is just a little bit of information about me. I've been in real estate for the greater part of 10 years. And this is just a little bit about what we'll cover today. So I'll give you guys my bio just so that you guys have an idea of who's speaking to you today. We'll go over Greenwood and Archer Lending's social impact mission, and then we'll talk about our products, the things that we sell to fund that social impact mission. We'll talk about why real estate investing is such a unique and powerful investment vehicle. We will talk about the best time to start investing. We will talk about goal setting. We'll talk about the importance of credit in real estate investing. We'll talk about cooperative economics in investing. And then we'll talk about one of my favorite real estate investing strategies, which is the BRRRR method. I've been in real estate for the greater part of 10 years. I was actually licensed for 10 years. I had a mega team within Keller Williams that spanned 3 different market centers and had 70 agents at its height. While at Keller Williams, I was welcomed into the real estate planner community. There are probably 500 real estate planners across the US now. When I initially joined, there were about 50 of us. And I was the only Black person at the time. And I can tell you now, with there being 500 across the country, there are now probably about 7 real estate planners that are Black. Real estate planners help people learn how to build, protect, and transfer real estate wealth. I was the director of operations for the wholesale division of our company. Because we had such a large real estate team, we had a large influx of leads. Some of those properties could not be sold on the market and they needed to be wholesaled because they were under distress. So I did operations for that. So I understand wholesaling really well. I was the chief operations officer for a credit and asset-based lending company. It was a startup. I did that for a year and a half. And about 9 months ago, I started my own company, same exact company. We're a national lender. We provide capital to real estate investors. And now I'm the CEO of Greenwood and Archer Lending. So before I go into exactly what we do, I want you guys to understand why we do it. Preston, please let me know if you guys cannot hear this. You should.
One of the most powerful examples of the impact of real estate wealth can be found in the story of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma, famously known as Black Wall Street. Real estate played a critical role in the Greenwood district becoming one of the most prosperous African-American communities in the United States. The residents of Greenwood owned hundreds of thriving businesses, all anchored in real estate. From banks and hotels to newspapers and grocery stores, real estate ownership enabled the people of Greenwood to create a vibrant economy and sustainable community. The district served as a cultural and social hub with schools, churches, and community organizations, fostering a sense of pride and identity. The critical infrastructure rooted in real estate ownership provided them with economic resilience and the resources to withstand social challenges. Real estate laid the foundation for the Greenwood district to thrive, fueling a powerful ecosystem of businesses and economic independence. Greenwood and Archer Lending is dedicated to rebuilding a sustainable community like those we once knew. We are here to ensure Black communities have access to the information, resources, and services needed to build, protect, and pass down real estate wealth for generations.
That vision, economic growth and autonomy, transgenerational wealth, legacy, the ability of our people and communities to be self-sustaining. These are what drive the social impact mission of Greenwood and Archer Lending. There is no social justice without economic justice. Real estate is the economic foundation that underpins and forms the fabric of any thriving community. Greenwood and Archer Lending aims to restore that economic structure. Real estate has the power to generate lasting impact, strengthen families, drive economic growth, and build lasting legacies. If we do not do it, no one else will. We are Greenwood and Archer Lending, funding dreams and fueling futures. So thank you guys for taking a look at that. I just wanted you guys to understand the social impact mission of Greenwood and Archer Lending. We are an ode to Black Wall Street, both in our name and our social impact mission. So although we're a lender, we use our loan products to fund our social impact mission. So these are our products. We provide capital solely to real estate investors. We are a national lender. I can lend in 46 states. There are only a very few states that I cannot lend in. So we do fix and flip loans. That's where you acquire the property, force appreciation, and usually people will sell it. Sometimes they'll do a cash out refi, and I'll show you that. That's the BRRRR strategy. We do DSCR loans. Those are the rental loans. We do ground up construction, portfolio, and we also have bridge loans, which are not on here. I'm going to quickly go over the two biggest products that we usually provide to people. I would say 80% of our products that we provide to investors is either fix and flip or the DSCR rental loan products. So I'll just tell you guys a little bit about how they function. So we are credit and asset-based lenders. So it's pretty easy to get into these products because we have a very low doc requirement. So we're not looking at your income. We're not looking at your employment. I'm strictly looking at your credit and how the asset that you want to acquire performs. So again, the fix and flip, we will give you some loan to value based on your experience. Once you enter the product, in order to enter this particular product, you have to be at a 660 credit score. Once you enter the product, your loan to value, how much money we can give you on the initial loan, is going to be strictly based on your experience. So a newbie is going to get 75% loan to value. Once you have done 5 in the last 3 years, you are going to get 90% loan to value. So just to tell you guys quickly what that looks like on a 100% $100,000 acquisition price. If you have done 5 in the last 3 years, you would only have to put down $10,000. If you're a newbie, you would have to put down $25,000. So this fix and flip product allows you to acquire the property, and we give you 100% of the construction costs. So we can do loans as low as $50,000. And this is one of our products that requires no experience. And again, the only difference is going to be the loan to value. But the more you do, the higher we're able to get your loan to value. DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. These are the rental loans. Usually people will do these on 30 years. There are also some options for ARMs, but rarely do people do those. This is how the debt is covered by the income the property produces. There is no experience required. This is very credit driven. So regardless of how much experience you have, you won't get any more loan to value than your credit qualifies you for. So we'll talk about credit a little bit in a few slides down, but it's very important that when you're investing, you get your credit as high as you can, especially if you're holding rental properties, because you're going to get a higher loan to value depending on what your experience is. So although the entry point for this product is 660, if you want to maximize your loan to value on either the acquisition or some type of refi, then you really want to get up into the 730, 740 range. So anything you do, you really do need to have a goal. I see a lot of people investing and it's pretty haphazard. They have no idea like what the actual goal is. They're just acquiring properties with no real goal. If you come up with a goal, then that will inform the type of properties you acquire. So there are two major tracks. There is either cash flow or there is the wealth building track. Cash flow, you can buy cheaper properties, but you're getting money, cash flow each month. A lot of times with the more expensive properties, if you're looking for wealth building, you're acquiring more expensive properties. You're not looking as much at how much you're going to get per month, but you're looking at the appreciation and the tax benefits. On both sides, there'll be tax benefits, but of course, the more expensive the property is, sometimes the tax benefits are more, but if nothing else, the property will appreciate more. So when you're acquiring those properties, more than, you always need to run metrics, but more than running the numbers in terms of cash flow, you want to look at how that property, how that area has appreciated over the last 5 to 10 years, because that's going to be the best predictor of how that property is going to appreciate for you, how it's going to perform over the next 5 to 10 years when you're holding it. So a lot of people, this is one of the big questions I get, this and what are the interest rates? So the best time to start investing in real estate was literally 10 years ago. So if you did not start 10 years ago, the next best time is right now. You cannot time the market. Even the very best economists really cannot time the market. The most important thing in real estate investing is your time in the market, and the asset will perform over time. Real estate investing is your best hedge against inflation, because if you ever look at the numbers, real estate outpaces inflation over time. So if you want to outpace it, if you want your money to perform over inflation, real estate is a great place to park your money. Home ownership is a personal choice. I know a lot of investors that have a whole lot of rental properties, but do not own the place they live in. And it can be a lot of reasons for that. A lot of times, they don't want to stay in one place at one time. That's usually the biggest reason. But even if you don't own your primary residence, you should absolutely be investing in real estate. And you don't have to buy your primary residence before you buy rental properties. So one of the reasons that real estate investing is such a unique and powerful tool is the fact that it can be leveraged. So that and the tax benefits afforded to real estate investors. So anytime someone is doing something that the government wants them to do, the government will incentivize doing whatever they want you to do. So they want investors and business owners to provide housing to people. So they incentivize it by giving tax benefits for it. So I'm not going to go much into that. I'm going to talk more about the leverage, but I just want you to know that there is a tax benefit to owning real estate. But one of the other big things, and this is what we provide, is leverage. So owning real estate, it allows you there is no other investment vehicle where you can purchase a $500,000 asset and purchase it for $50,000 or $100,000. So real estate allows you to leverage the asset. So say the property is worth $500,000. You've only put $50,000 or $100,000 in it, depending on how you acquired it. But you get to realize the appreciation benefits of that asset at the $500,000 mark, although you're only in it for a small fraction of that. So that's one of the reasons that is very unique. It also allows you to, because you're not parking your whole $500,000 in that one asset. If you have $500,000, instead of putting it in one asset, you can acquire 5 different assets. So all of those properties are appreciating at one time because you've leveraged them. So those are some of the reasons that help it be a very unique. It also helps to limit risk, because you're only in the investment for a fraction of what it's really worth. You've leveraged most of what that property costs with a loan. And also the tenant is paying down your debt. So the tenant is paying on your investment. So by and large, you have someone else paying off the debt on your investment while it's appreciating. So it really is a powerful tool to build wealth. So BRRRR strategy is one of my absolute favorite strategies in real estate investing, that and 1031 exchange. I won't go into 1031 exchange today. We will talk about BRRRR strategy though. So BRRRR strategy, with BRRRR strategy, you use both types of loans, that both the fix and flip loan and the DSCR loan. So BRRRR strategy stands for buy, renovate, rent, refi, and repeat. If done well, you get what's called an infinite return. And on the next screen, I'll tell you what that looks like. But in terms of buying, it's the fix and flip loan. So you buy the property, you acquire it, we give you 100% of the construction, that's the renovate. So with the renovation, you force appreciation on the property. And instead of selling it, you rent the property out and you do a refi. The goal is to be able to do a cash out refi. So you should have run all of your numbers before you acquire the property so that you can get cash out of the property once you're done. The goal is always to get cash out and not just do a rate and turn refi. And then you take that cash and you do it all over again. So that's what makes it a powerful wealth building tool, because the money you initially put in it, the goal is to be able to take every penny of that out when you do your cash out refi. And that's what gives you that infinite return. When you pull that money out, the goal is to, and it does not always happen, but the goal is to pull all of the money that you put in that property to initially acquire it out. So you no longer have any of your money in that property. And that's what makes it have an infinite return, because you don't have any money in that property, none, but it should be providing you some cash on a monthly basis. So just to tell you what the BRRRR strategy looks like in terms of numbers, and this is what we call an infinite return plus. This is giving you more money on your cash out than you initially put in. So you're getting the money you put in, plus you made some more money during the construction when you forced appreciation. So in this example, you're going to buy the property. I have, the acquisition at $100,000. This is assuming an 80% loan to value. So you would be responsible for putting $20,000 down. And of course, you have closing costs. You always have closing costs when you buy real estate. We're assuming that the renovation is going to be about $30,000, and the ARV, the after repair value, is going to be $230,000. So you're going to rent this property out, and we're assuming that you did everything correctly, including looking at what the DSCR number would be after you're done. You should be looking at those numbers even before you acquire a property if the goal is to do the BRRRR strategy. So in total, the total loan amount for your initial acquisition, and so the total loan amount for the refi is going to be about $170,000. And what that looks like is when you refinance the property, and this is why I always tell people, again, get your credit score as high as you can possibly get it if you want to invest, because the higher your credit score, the higher loan to value we're able to give you and the more cash out you're able to get. So assuming that this person is around 730, 740, we're able to maximize their cash out and give them 75% loan to value on what we were calling the ARV, but now it's renovated. So that's now the value of the property. So now the value of the property is $230,000. 75% of that is $173,000. So the lien on the property from the acquisition and the rehab is $110,000. So we just subtract the lien on the property from the amount we're able to extend to you based on what the current value now is, and you can get about $60,000 cash out. So remember, you initially put $20,000 down. So not only is this an infinite return, but it's an infinite return plus, because in addition to not having any money left in that property because you pulled it all out, you also made yourself another like $40,000 to go and purchase another asset. And the goal is to purchase better assets as you go, assets that are going to perform better. So that's the BRRRR strategy. It is literally my absolute favorite. So this is just a little bit about cooperative economics. I want to say yesterday was Ujamaa, the 4th day of Kwanzaa. So this is all about us getting together, leveraging one another's capital, leveraging one another's skills, risk mitigate. It helps to mitigate risk, because instead of you being, say again, for easy numbers, the acquisition price was $100,000. And say for easy numbers, we're giving you 80% loan to value. So you have to put down 20,000. If you have a partner, then now you only, in your 50 partners, now instead of putting 20,000, you only have to put $10,000 in this. So in addition to the other person coming with some capital, they usually also come with some skills that you may not have. And this is the big one, the one at the end, leveraging one another's experience. So I told you guys in the beginning, the fix and flip product is very experience driven. So imagine you're a newbie, you want to do fix and flip. We're going to give you 75% loan to value. If you get with someone, you partner with someone that has done 5 in the last 3 years, it's literally better than them bringing capital, because it takes you from needing to put down 25% to, because we were giving you 75% loan to value, to now getting 90% loan to value and only having to put down a total of 10%. But if the two of you are 50-50 partners, now you only have to put down 5%. So you went from 25% to 5%. So cooperative economics is a game changer, especially when you're talking about leveraging other people's experience. And I just put at the bottom just one of the African proverbs: if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, then you go together. So us leveraging one another's skills and capital and experience is literally a game changer, and it will supercharge your investment. So that is pretty much it. I am open to any questions you guys have. I'm pretty much an open book because I have so much experience in real estate investing. You guys can ask me a number of different questions. I definitely act as an advisor. I found that a lot of agents and investors do not know how to run the asset performance tests that are required to assess real estate. I have borrowers come to me all of the time and they're getting ready to make an acquisition. And my first question is, what's your maximum allowable offer? They don't know it, and their real estate agent doesn't know it either. So it's like you're just haphazardly coming up with the number that you're going to offer on this property. And yes, they are. So you really do need to run your metrics so you can know what your maximum allowable offer is. That will allow you to, number one, not offer too much. Number two, you can walk away from the property if you don't get it, knowing that you could not have had it. You could not have acquired that property and realized the return on your investment that you wanted to. So you really do need to know those numbers. I do help people run other numbers, certainly investors that have held real estate over a period of time. The asset performs different the longer you hold it, simply because the loan is paid down and it appreciates. So your equity position in the property changes. So because your equity position changes, you may go from having $50,000 in a property to 10 years later, you may now have $150,000 in that property. And the question always is, because this is an investment, can you put your money somewhere else and have it perform better? But if you don't know your numbers and know how that asset is performing, you can't make those data-driven decisions. So I do help investors that have held properties long look at those metrics and figure out how they want to proceed. Sometimes they don't want to do anything. The property isn't giving them a headache. They're not necessarily looking to grow. So, they may not do anything, but the property may be giving them a headache, and they may be looking at the numbers like, oh, I can purchase a property, in another town or whatever, where the asset is going to perform different. And sometimes the goal changes as you're investing. So maybe just their goals have changed, but they still can't know whether or not to move, either disposition the property. Sometimes they want to disposition it altogether. Sometimes they want to keep the property and just pull some cash out so that that property is so that that equity is actually performing in another asset. So that's kind of my spiel on knowing your numbers. Investing, if you're not talking numbers, you're not talking investing. So you have to talk numbers if you're going to talk about real estate investing and doing it well. So that's pretty much it. Anybody?
Marcia.
Anyone has any questions?
Marcia, we didn't have any questions in the chat, but I just got to say that was amazing. That was amazing. I loved how you worked in the cooperative economics, and how you talked about that, and how partnering together we can decrease the burden on one another. And then like when you broke down the bird strategy, that was so great. So thank you so much. I appreciate this training so much. I have 2 questions for you.
Okay. Should I stop sharing?
No, you're good. You don't have to worry about it. They can't see that. They could just see you and I.
Okay.
I've known Marcia. I've met Marcia in Baltimore. She really does have that heart for the community, that heart to give back to people. And she's just a great mother, a great person. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, for just being who you are. Thank you for giving the time, giving your energy to giving back to the community, pouring in. I know a lot of this has to do with your son, and you involve him in so many different things. And I just want to say how much you inspire me as a mother, just the way you give back to your son, the way you pour into him, the way you teach him and put him in these group economic systems. That's really generational wealth, building it. And so I just want to say thank you for that. And then also, why did you join the Mastermind? Tell people about your experience with Mastermind. Why did you? I know I asked you to join, but what's been your experience? Why are you part of the family? Why do you give us your time? And then I got one more thing for you.
Okay. So one thing I can say that I have learned is your network is your net worth. And I cannot overstate that. So who you know can literally change the trajectory of your life more than your finances, more than what you know, who you know, and who knows you can literally change everything in your life. So there are phenomenal people in this mastermind, people with a lot of deep knowledge in their respective industries. So I have really enjoyed, learning from them and having just resources. So anytime you're in business, you need all kinds of resources, and you cannot know everything. I don't even want to know everything. Like, I want to be an expert in what I'm an expert in and leverage everything off, because that lets me be excellent in what I do, because I'm not trying to do everything. So the mastermind has been phenomenal in terms of giving me resources and people that I can lean on, ask questions to. Everyone in the mastermind is absolutely phenomenal, open to questions, open to helping you, open to helping you figure out how to get through obstacles in your business. Every business owner needs some type of mastermind with people that are willing to help them along. So that's why I absolutely love this mastermind. I like helping people along on their journey, and I'm grateful to have other people that can help me along in my journey.
Awesome, Marcia. That's great. Resources. That's great, and you're a resource for us. So we'll talk after this, but I think we've got some mastermind real estate that we may need to do some cooperative economics together.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. That's part of the family. You got to get in the family to get that. We can't
Yeah.
give you that online.
I love
But
it.
last thing that I have for you, people got to know where to find you and how to find you. So I'm gonna put 45 seconds on the clock real quick. I'm gonna give you the countdown. Give them your 45 seconds on the way out so they know exactly how to find you. And thank you so much, Marcia. I'm putting 45 on the clock. It's your time in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Okay, I am Marcia Grant, CEO of Greenwood and Archer Lending. You can reach me at 443-220-5588. In addition, you can email me at my first and last name, Marcia, Marcia, Grant, Grant, at G and spelled out ANDA lending.com. Marcia Grant at GandA lending.com. On Instagram, I'm the Hard Money Boss. On Facebook, I am just my name. And you can also look us up, Greenwood and Archer Lending, on both Facebook and Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Marcia Grant, Greenwood and Archer Lending founder and CEO. Thank you so much, Marcia.
Thank you. Thank you for creating this space for us.
I appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate the time. So this is the Marketplace Mastermind. We've got one more presentation today. We got Keith L. Brown at 3 o'clock. Marcia was awesome. Make sure you tap in with her, follow up with her, send her a message, follow her on Instagram. She does amazing work and she will help you do that. She just taught you a whole strategy here. So don't go try to do this strategy by yourself. Go find Marcia and go allow her to help you with the strategy because she'll get it done for you. She just showed you she could get it done for you. So some Marketplace Mastermind Expo. We got more coming to you. Follow us on VIP Socio Marketplace Mastermind and on Facebook. We'll see you soon.